and I welcome you to another press conference about how the city, county, and our health and educational partners are coming together to fight the coronavirus. We will have several public announcements and comments this morning. The media is encouraged to follow up with any of us with any questions after the announcements. This week has seen more developments in the rapidly changing battle against COVID-19, including the first positive case of this illness in Kerrville, and our prayers are with that individual and for a speedy recovery. We have also seen changes from the governor's office regarding Texas' statewide approach to fighting COVID-19, and we fully support Governor Greg Abbott's decision to tighten and extend COVID-19 containment measures. In the governor's own words, he requires all residents to stay at home and only venture out when absolutely necessary for essential services. Those essential services, as defined by the Texas Division of Emergency Management for the purposes of the governor's order, include the following industries: healthcare, public health, law enforcement, public safety, and other first responders, food and agriculture, energy, water and wastewater, transportation and logistics, public works and infrastructure support services, communications and information technology, other community or government-based operations and essential functions, critical manufacturing, hazardous materials, financial services, chemical, defense industrial base, commercial facilities, residential shelter facilities and services, hygiene products and services. For a more detailed description of these industries and services, please go to the website of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, which we have linked from the city's website. The governor's executive order limiting activities and services to those identified as essential will be effective until April 30th, and we plead with our citizens to follow that timeline. Let me say that I know a lot of you will have questions about whether or not your business qualifies as essential under one of the headings I listed. For answers to those questions, I'm going to defer to the governor's office for a ruling. There are multiple descriptions of essential services that get pretty intricate. The office of the governor can be reached at 512-463-2000. 512-463-2000. Governor Abbott also said that every person in Texas shall, except where necessary to provide or obtain essential services, minimize social gatherings and minimize in-person contact with people who are not in the same household. We couldn't agree more. This virus likes crowds, and so stay away from them. Do your part to stay apart, and remember to wash your hands and stay 6 feet or more from others. There are a lot of questions about what can be done under the governor's order. Let me define those activities that are allowed. You can still go to work if your work is defined as essential. Businesses providing essential services may remain open following social distancing guidelines. Daycares defined as essential service may remain open. You can travel to and from home for essentials: grocery shopping, banking, getting gas, and other necessary trips like doctor visits. Traveling outside of the country is discouraged, but you can travel within or outside of the country for essential activities, such as taking care of family or friends in need. You can still enjoy outdoor activities like walking your dog, going to the park, or going fishing, but please practice social distancing when doing so. For several weeks, we have urged and encouraged the citizens of Kerrville and Kerr County to do social distancing and stay in small groups, and to be at home unless it is essential to be out. That has met with some success, but in a lot of ways it hasn't. We have been a very active town in these recent weeks. You can support local restaurants by getting takeout, either drive-throughs or curbside pickup. And I encourage you to do so. I also am buying gift certificates from local restaurants as a way of providing them some cash. What is not allowed? For Governor Abbott's own words, people are no longer allowed to gather in groups of 10 or fewer. Instead, if they are not involved in providing or receiving an essential service, they need to stay home. Persons must avoid hair salons, barbershops, tattoo parlors, gyms, and massage establishments. No going to work at businesses that perform non-essential services. Again, businesses providing essential services are defined by the Texas Division of Emergency Management for the purposes of the governor's order. The governor's declaration Tuesday supersedes any city's response to COVID-19. The governor also made a statement this morning reiterating that his Tuesday declaration was a stay-at-home order. We are well aware of the impact these decisions have on our local businesses. And when I say local businesses, I'm talking about our friends and neighbors, people we've known for years, and in some cases, all of our lives. But it's those friends and neighbors, as well as countless others living in Kerrville unknown to us, whose lives we hope to protect through these measures. Think, for instance, about some of the most vulnerable of our Kerr County citizens, senior adults, almost a third of our population. Especially vulnerable are those with already underlying medical conditions. If communities will do this, there's no magic bullet, there's no magic vaccine or therapy. It's just behaviors. Each of our behaviors translating into something that changes the course of this viral pandemic over the next 30 days. Thank you for taking responsibility to do your part. The actions of our medical community, our business community, our grocery suppliers, our nonprofit organizations and churches, and many of our citizens have been exemplary. And so we thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask Corey Edmondson, the CEO of Peterson Health, to come and share some words with us.
Thank you, Mayor. I will tell you that meeting with this group up here of leaders has been excellent. It is a collaborative, I think, that the community ought to be encouraged by. Decisions that have been made by them haven't come as a knee-jerk reaction, but rather through informed decisions. And I'll say that the decision that we have supported on behalf of the governor affects many families and industries beyond what any of us can imagine. I hear stories often about one particular industry, and I thought, wow, I never thought about how that affected that industry and the impact. It can be overwhelming to think about. But I respect the efforts that our leadership in our city and county have done. It's been well balanced with those decisions and supporting the governor's executive order, obviously, implementing essential services. So what does that mean for healthcare specifically? It doesn't change the way we do business day in and day out. In fact, I want to encourage you about several things. One, continue to seek out your primary care doctor or doctors who take care of you. It is important, even more so now, to stay healthy by eating healthy, by doing the things that you need to do to protect yourself. But you can go see your doctor. This doesn't mean you can't get out and go see them. They are still open and available for you. Healthcare is considered an essential service. That means that access to healthcare is normal, as it would be any other time. All kinds of workers are covered through this essential service, from hospital personnel to doctors, to nurses, to dentists, psychologists, physical and occupational therapists, social workers, chiropractors, technicians, and many beyond that. And that's just to name a few. but just an encouraging moment that says that you can still access health care. Peterson Medical Associates, which is our group of doctors, is still offering and open for services for you. And they're offering telemedicine visits both through the phone and also through video telemedicine. You can call 830-258-7762 to schedule a time to visit with a provider from Peterson Medical Associates, or call your provider, your primary care doctor in the community. They will offer telemedicine as well. We officially opened our drive-through clinic at the Hill Country Youth Event Center on Monday, and I will tell you it's been a positive experience for us. That is something that we were able to put together in a short period of time for the Hill Country and for Kerrville. We have seen numerous patients come through there and have tested several. We've screened many and have tested many as well. To date, overall, from a hospital's perspective of the patients that we know about that have been tested, that we control, there have been 84 people tested from Peterson Health, and we have no testing results pending, meaning we've received all of those back, and as you know, only one has tested positive. That is good from a standpoint that we hope that that trend continues. I continue to say, and it came true, that's not if we get a positive COVID-19, it's when. I expect to see more, but Peterson Health is prepared for that event. We've been preparing as an organization for the support of our community. I encourage you to continue to stay informed yourself through the right channels with factual data, through CDC and the Texas Department of State Health Services, through Peterson Health's website, through the city's website, through the county's website to know what's going on locally. As you know, that on the 31st, Tuesday the 31st, we did have our positive first COVID patient in Kerrville. I'm thankful that it was somebody who was aware of what to do in the situation, was aware of how to take care of themselves. They self-isolated, they self-disclosed where they traveled. And I will encourage you that it is not a community-acquired COVID-19 incident. It is strictly associated with travel outside of Kerrville. That patient is doing well at home, recovering well, and as the mayor said, we keep them in our prayers. Peterson Health stands with you to fight this crisis. Dealing with the most important moments in life, we're providing that exceptional, compassionate, patient-centered care. That's what we do. Our staff is well prepared and dedicated to attack this virus with every effort possible. We're feeling the same pressures as you are, with family, with child care, with finances, and with work in general. But we're committed to and will continue to bring you the best health care in the Hill Country. The crisis hasn't changed who Peterson is. We're going to continue to provide that excellent care to you and to our community and to our calling at Peterson Health. So with that, I leave you that to stay at home, be responsible in what you do as an individual. It's not about you, it's about others. You think about others and not self. This is a selfless thing to do. It's going to be tough for everybody. Encourage your neighbor, encourage your friends, encourage your family, but know that it's for a short period of time, for a window of great opportunity. Thank you.
Mayor. Mark? Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of updates for Kerrville Independent School District. As you know, we remain closed. We issued that closure during spring break, and we cannot commit to a time when we will be able to reopen, so we will say we are closed indefinitely. We've transitioned this week to virtual KISD. After that week of parent resources we called Learning from Home, we're now formally in virtual KISD. That transition is not without its troubles and stumbles and a few kinks we've discovered along the way. We're grateful to our parents and our students who are calling our campuses and asking for tech support and for guidance. We're being very responsive as a school district and as campuses to quickly return those phone calls and provide information so that we can continue to engage our students actively and continue the learning process. I will tell the community that we're going to add a technology help. It's not really a line, it's a help desk, which will be an email and a form on our website that'll start next week. And so for our students and parents that have need tech support, they can put that form in online. It'll be routed to campuses, and a campus guru will give you a call back with some support in 24 hours or less. So we're excited to get that going. Our Grab and Go community meals program, last we reported we had over 4,500 meals served. By the end of last week, it was more than 6,000, and to date, we're above 11,000 meals. That program will continue, and we're very pleased to be able to offer that program to our community. We will consolidate from 8 sites to 4 sites beginning on Monday. So Tally, Nimitz, Daniels Elementaries, and our Early Childhood Center, all in geographic strategic parts of town, will offer those meal programs continuing 7 to 9 and 9 to 11, and it'll be only those 4 sites effective Monday, April 6th. But please know, if you have a child 0 to 18, whether you're a KISD student or not, and whether or not the student is with you, our families in this community can go to any one of those sites and pick up meals. If you come between the 7 to 9 hour, you can pick up both breakfast and lunch for your convenience. And if you come at lunchtime, you can pick up a lunchtime meal. So please continue to access that important resource. And finally, we would just close by saying it's our goal as a school district to continue the learning process in an authentic way with our students. And we ask for grace and patience as we make a really challenging transition to online virtual learning. There is no substitute for that in-classroom, face-to-face relationship between students and teachers. But we know we can work together with our parents and our students, and that our teachers and all of our staff are supporting this transition in a way that it can be meaningful for our kids and our community. So thank you for the support and for your patience with KISD.
We thank you for your attention to this press conference. I would ask you to pray for our community in the midst of this fight against COVID-19 and to pray for leadership as we seek to make good, solid decisions that are good for all in this community. Thank you.